Hey friends, welcome back to the studio. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one tool that I use that's fairly inexpensive that has made me thousands of dollars. There's one little catch. You do have to know how to use it, and the other equipment that goes with it is valuable as well. But if you're a jeweler or you're a metalsmith and you don't have this tool, I would highly recommend getting one. I worked for years without having this tool, and it has proved to be almost essential now. I use it almost daily to get my jobs done. So let's go take a look at it, and I'll tell you why it is super important you have one. Here it is in all its glory. Now, I am an active jewelry studio. It's winter, so I have a bunch of gloves that I need to put away and things like that. But in my studio, I have this machine. It's green. They come in various colors, shapes, sizes, and configurations. This is called a rolling mill. Now, the rolling mill is a pretty simple machine. I'll show you a little bit about how it works. You put gold or silver or any really non-ferrous metal, something that's soft, in between these rollers. You crank this handle, and it goes through and smashes, compresses, and shapes the metal as you go. Now, this model in particular, has this. This is a Chinese knockoff model. It is not an expensive one, and so this handle, it doesn't have the gear down ratio isn't great compared to others that I've used. The handle is actually quite short. A lot of the expensive ones have a much longer handle. That way you get, more leverage when you're rolling your material. This lever up here controls the distance between the rollers. So as I turn this, the rollers are slightly moving open. You can see a little gap in there forming. It's getting larger. If I go the other way, it gets smaller. It's actually such a simple machine, but it has some cool features. So this, you can make half round stock. So these grooves have radiuses cut in them and the top is flat. So you'll get a piece of stock that is half round on one side and flat on the other. You can run your material through this section, and that'll be making sure that the whole piece comes out as a rectangle. It pushes the material thinner and thinner, and it'll squeeze it out and lengthen it all at the same time. These ones are for square, so you can put your piece of material in here and roll it out to different square shapes, and then you can step down to smaller and smaller if you need. So that's kind of the basic idea of the rolling mill. There's electric rolling mills. There's this one that's by hand. Most of them that I've used, actually all of them that I've used, have been a hand crank, just like this. And it's really simple. It's just using leverage to compress metals that are softer than the rollers. So that's really all a rolling mill is. It's pretty simple, but this machine has helped me a lot. I'm going to share with you how the rolling mill is super beneficial. So here I have, this is called an ingot. So I melted some white gold in my crucible. I poured it into my mold right here, and out came this. I am doing a reshank on a ring, which I'll show you right now. Here's the ring. It was really thin. It needs a new shank on it. So I didn't have the correct size material. This is approximately 2 millimeters wide, 2 millimeters thick. I didn't have any material like that, but I did have some other gold pieces, white gold pieces that were, not useful for other projects. So I melted them down and poured it into this ingot. Now this, I'm going to use my rolling mill for, and we're going to create, I can't get that to stand up on its own, but we're going to create a band that we'll solder in here for this ring. But we don't want to use this big hunk of gold. We want to make sure we have a nice uniform piece that we can shape to make the band, and we're going to use the rolling mill for that. Before I go to the rolling mill, you can buy stock that is just the size you need. So I could go on one of my jewelry supply companies and type in 2x2 14 karat white gold sizing stock or stock. And I could order in a piece that's between, I think 1 inch is the minimum, up to as long as I want. So in this case, I would need to order a 1 inch piece. But I have the gold here. So why would I spend the extra money to purchase new gold in the correct dimensions? Because you pay a premium for that too. So if I want these specific dimensions, I'm going to have to pay for it. So this is a good way for me to utilize some scrap gold I have in the shop. I can recycle it. It's like new. I'm melting it and then I'm forming it, and it's going to make a great ring shank. So there is another way you can do it too. You can melt your gold, and you can take, let me grab a tool here, a hammer. It doesn't have to be a ball peen hammer. It can be any hammer, and an anvil or a steel block. I have this angled piece of steel. I actually made this in college. I went to school to be a machinist, and we machined. This was cast iron, and then we milled it, and then we used a grinder and we ground it flat. Anyway, you can use that and a hammer, and you can pound out your material to the dimensions you need too. So in order to do that though, you're not very precise. It's however precise you can be with your hammer and your steel block, and it's loud, it's not very efficient, and you work hard in the material more than you would just running it through the rolling mill. Let's talk about price. This rolling mill, I'm not embarrassed to say this, I got it on an Amazon, what's that thing called? Amazon Prime Days. $150. $150. And I have had it 4 years, and I can't even tell you how many rings I've made out of this machine. Rings, pendants, making stock for the reshank like I'm doing right now, making stock for sizing a ring if I don't have the correct stock. People trading in their gold and wanting to reuse it for something new, and I'll remake it. I've taken an old gold bracelet, melted it down, and I made an amazing engagement ring with it. Because of the rolling mill, guys, $150 cheap junk Chinese rolling mill. Now, if you have the money, or if you want good quality fine equipment, which I do recommend if you can afford it. At the time I couldn't afford it, so I just got the cheap one. But if I could do it, if I do in the future need a better one, I'm gonna spend the money and get a good one. But as of right now, it works just fine. It does what I need it to do, and I paid $150 for it, and it's made me thousands and thousands of dollars just having the machine, because I don't have to order in the stock. I can reuse people's old material. The possibilities are, I wouldn't say endless, but there are a lot of them that you can use the rolling mill for. My kids even occasionally like to take the copper pennies, what is it, before 1984 or 80, whatever it is, and they'll run copper pennies through that and smash them, and they think it's fun. So it's entertainment for all. Anyway, I'll have you guys come along and we'll go ahead and roll this material out so you can see how it works for this ring shank. The first thing we need to do is get our machine ready. So we're going to put the rollers together. We're going to start out with the largest one. We need square stock. So we put it in there, turn the handle, and our piece comes out. It barely did anything, so we need to move down to the next little thing. So next, we'll go to the next size down, the next spot right here. So if you can zoom in on that and see the little piece in there. Okay, now we're going to roll it. We're pulling our handle up. Our piece came out, and it's getting a little more square every time we run it through there. Here we go with another. We put it here, and I pulled the rollers closer together, and it takes a little more force this time. And it went through. So see how it's getting more square? We're going to turn it a corner turn and run it through that again. Okay. So here, check this out. We have square stock already. It was round, now we have square, and we'll continue working this down until we get the right dimensions. Next, we need to anneal it. Our square piece is getting work hardened by running it through the rolling mill, so we'll put a little pickled quail egg juice on there and get our green flame. Then we're going to anneal this. So what I'm going to do is get kind of a bushy flame going, something like that. We're going to heat it from underneath. I'll move my camera a little bit. I'm going to shut the lights out, set the mood. Okay, now we got the mood right, so we can anneal this thing. So I'm going to heat this up till it's a dull red, and just kind of hold it there. It's dull red already. I'm going to hold it there for like a minute, maybe less. It doesn't take that long actually, but ideally you want to hold it there for like a minute. I'm just pulling my flame off because I don't want it too hot, but I want to keep it at that red color. But if you go beyond that, you start melting the gold, so we don't want that. Just about right, and then we quench. Boom. Now it's softened and annealed again. Okay, after I got it softened, I rolled it again. Here we go. We have just under 2 by 2 millimeter square stock of 14 karat white gold. Now, I'm going to anneal it one more time. I won't show you again because I've already showed this like a zillion times on my channel. We're going to anneal it again, then I'll form it to the ring shank, and I'll solder it on and move forward with the project. But that's how I use this. That's how I use this green $150 machine to make money in my shop. Without this, I wouldn't have this beautiful square stock to use for my ring shank. So it's very valuable to have this. I shouldn't say not a lot. Some jewelers don't have a rolling mill. I almost believe it's an essential tool. Although I did work for one in the past that did not have a rolling mill, and they got along just fine, actually a few stores. But it makes it really handy. Otherwise, you're ordering stock all the time. Here's our piece from the rolling mill. Now we need to bend it into a circle so we can make it a ring shank out of this thing. So let's do that. So this is another tool that's handy, not needed. This is, again, an inexpensive tool, even though I'm a professional goldsmith jeweler. Sometimes I don't use this all the time. You don't need this to bend your stock, but if you have heavy stock, which a lot of times I work with heavy pieces of material, this does help quite a bit. So I'm just going to stick it in here, and we're going to go around and start bending this. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to get us a radius, so then we can slide it on our mandrel. I think this needs to be a size 9. I got hair in there. What the? So we need a size 9. Look at that. It's a nice horseshoe. Rainbow. I'm just going to kind of look and see what we're doing here. Ooh, it's looking good, guys. I might slide it on my mandrel and just see where we're at. And let's do that now. All right, first thing. We take the existing ring. And we slide it up to a 9. All right. Then we'll take our piece that we just bent. I'm going to slide it up to a 9 as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you. As I slide it up, I maybe bent it a little too much. See if I can get it to move. I'm doing this looking through my camera, which is hard. Anyways, so we'll slide this up if I can. And I did file one of the sides. Okay, I filed this side flat. I'm going to match that up to our ring. Sorry, I'm kind of forcefully doing this so my voice sounds funky. Okay, so we'll line it up, and I might have to just shut the camera off to do this. So we're going to line up the one side we filed flat with the ring shank right there. Once that's touching, we'll mark right here with our Sharpie. My Sharpie's not doing its job. There we go. Okay, so right there, we're going to cut that. And we need this side. I'm going to mark it just so I know which side when I'm cutting. Sometimes I flip it around. All right, so we know this in my right hand is the shank. The rest of this we can use for another project. And I broke the blade. That happens sometimes. We replace the blade. Do this by my mic. You got that twang. Sometimes that's what you need. A little bit of music while you're working. And you can twang your saw and make your own music. Bench Beats. An album coming soon. Just kidding. Maybe not. It'd be kind of fun to make an album with just shop noises and then mix it together and make some music. I don't know. I'm not musically inclined, but it would be fun. So here's our part we're not going to need. Here's our new ring shank. Here's the shank soldered on. I didn't film that part, but it's not finished yet. But I just wanted to show you how I make stock. And that is how my rolling mill can make me thousands of dollars. A $150 machine can make literally thousands of dollars over the course of its life. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.